All right, Tim, I just logged on to your account, but let me open up a few things because basically it was looking. I want to show you how it was kind of looking before I entered. I exited everything here, so let's do that. Is it my choice? Q, boom. All right, so basically, when you log on, you'll see something like this, but I want to show you like you can exit out of everything here. So we're gonna start fresh, okay? All right, now we're fresh. So if you come up here to the top left-hand add module, all you'll do is click and drag. So we want the super DOM here, and then we'll put NQ, and then we'll put MNQ. Okay, and we'll put ES. Okay, then we're gonna add another module, and you'll do the chart. You click and drag, and at this border right here, you can actually click and drag and make it smaller. You don't need it that big. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll add NQ, MNQ, and ES. Okay, and these are just indices. This is the technology sector, like the QQQ or NASDAQ. This is the same thing, the QQQ or NASDAQ, just cheaper contracts. And this is the SPY, which is your SPY, what is it? 500. Okay, so we're always going to be trading on the NQ. Oh, whoops, I got the wrong NQ. It's supposed to be HNQH. All right. So basically, like every quarter, you're going to have to change it from H to M to N to Z to U or something like that. It changes every quarter. But right now we're in H. So yeah, we're good. Don't worry about that. And then positions, I like my positions down here. And I make that small. And then boom. Okay. So now over here, we'll go to application, we'll go to add-ons, and then we'll just add on everything that's free. Activate, 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 activate. Boom. Okay. So I just activated everything that's free. That's fine. Your subscription. So right now you're level 1, whatever, $12 a month. That's fine. You don't need to worry about anything like that. After 14 days, it is going to ask you to update a credit card. So you'll need to come into here under subscriptions and update your credit card if you want to continue practicing to be able to get the live data. And basically what the live data is the charts. You'll be able to get the charts moving real time, okay? So here, I call this your icons on your chart, okay? So we're going to delete all these, okay? And we're going to add the main one is this, install non-VWAP bands. Okay, so we install this, yep. And then we'll come back here and we'll go to, sometimes you gotta refresh the page. Indicators, non-VWAP, okay. It should show non-VWAP, okay. So it's not showing, so I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna log out and then we'll log back in. And then it should show, okay? So log simulation, boom, okay. Okay, now, okay, good. So our chart, everything's saved the way we wanted it. That's good. And then now we'll see if we got it on here now. There we go. Now, boom. And I like this to be baby blue. All right. So now we got our VWAP bands. Okay, and you see how I try to move the chart and then it comes back? That's called auto fit. So we come over here and we got to fix that. We don't want that. We don't want auto fit on here. I think it's over here. We want trade mode on. Okay, maybe it's over here, auto fit. Let me see, auto fit. Okay, hold on. Okay. Auto fit, auto fit. Oh, here it is, auto chart. Yeah, we don't want auto chart. There we go. Auto off. There we go. Now we can move the chart. It's not going to automatically go back over there. Okay, so now we got our VWAP bands. Okay, every VWAP band starts at 5 p.m. So if you look down here at the bottom of this chart right here, look, 5 p.m. Central Time, they start brand new. And then they spread open, okay? Every day they'll start on a brand new trading session. They'll start from 5 and they end at 4, okay, 4 o'clock. And the market closes for 1 hour and then it opens back up at 5. Okay, 6 days a week, starting from Sunday, 5 o'clock, all the way until Friday, 4 o'clock, okay? Market only closes for 1 hour. So each of these bands are brand new every trading session. And since we have this new band and this band, okay, you always want to mark off the top here. And then I make this a baby blue line because this is going to be like your range, like your trading range for the next day. So price can get all the way up into here or higher, but you know when price gets up into the previous upper VWAP band, this is a good area to do a right click and a sell, a red line. Okay?
Order rejected.
Orders are going to reject because the market's not open right now. But you want to do red lines at the upper VWAP band, okay? This is one of the strategies. When you get to this upper VWAP band the first time, meaning price is down here on this new trading session, okay? And then we get up into here. If we get up into here for the first time on the new trading session, this is a good area to get a sell. Because typically what happens is you could probably most likely reject from here to here and make money. So from here to right around here would be a good take profit. So you'd hit a red line here and then a green line like right around here. And you'd make money when the market moves down because you did a red line first, a sell. You know how they always say sell high, buy low. So the buy low would be down here. Like if we get down here, okay, then you want to do a green line first. You're at the bottom of this previous day VWAP. So you want to do a green line first, okay, because you're buying low down here at the bottom of this range. And then you want to take profit like right around this purple line. You know, could it keep going higher? Yeah, but this is the for sure money, boom to boom, okay? All right. Anyway, so that's one strategy, okay, is getting buys at the bottom, lowest level of your VWAP bands. That's the strategy one, okay? And you only want to do it the first time or second time that it tests. So right here, look, we already came down one time and it bounced. So the second time, we should still get a little bounce, okay? From here to here, maybe we go all the way up, who knows? But by the time, if you coming down here 3 times, so if we come down here when market opens one more time, we should be able to get a little bounce. But if we can't get above this middle VWAP right here, then we're going to keep going down. So that means the second time come up, reject middle VWAP. By the third time it comes down here, it's probably just going to flush and keep going down. Okay. So, the more you keep coming down and knocking on the same door down here, like boom, 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 eventually you're going to fall through it, you know. And the most important thing about trading is this middle VWAP line, this baby blue line, because if you can't hold above it, like we held above it right here, if you can't hold above this line, then you're not going to go up, okay? You have to be above this middle VWAP line to continue up. And you have to be in these upper 2 bands up here for the trend to keep going up. The minute you break under this purple band, okay, then you have a chance of it continuing to fall down if you can't hold the VWAP. Vice versa. If you're down in these lower 2 bands, -1 and -2 standard deviation bands right here, this is where you can trend down. Okay, you don't trend unless you're in those bands. Okay, and if you're just going back and forth in between these bands like this, you're just ranging. You're not really in a trend up or down. You're just up. You're just in this range here. Okay, so it's not until like here, look, you start trending down because you're in these 2 lower bands. See? And then it did a double bounce on this lower band. Okay. So usually on the double bounce on this lower band, you can get a good push up like right here. See, you did 1. Never want to do it on the first bounce, and plus this was outside the band too. So when it gets outside the band, it can just keep flushing really fast. Okay, so it's always on the second or third bounce. And when these bands are going so straight down like this is a sell-off. You don't want to be getting into buys, okay, when this band is pointing straight down, okay? So keep that in mind. And if you notice here, look, we did 1, 2, probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you were still in these lower bands. But then you did a real kind of long wick down here, bounce, and then it finally powered up. This long wick, when you get these long wicks down like that, price is pushing up pretty fastly. There's a lot of buyers right here. So it pushed it up really quick when you have a long wick. So this long wick indicates that it could be a reversal once you start to break above these bands and you get above middle VWAP, which we did.
Order rejected.
But anyways, that's probably a little bit too much detail. The main thing is you just want to worry about right now is, 1, when you get to the lower or the upper bands. Upper bands, we do red lines. Lower bands, we do green lines. Okay. Now we're going to add your stop loss in here. So we'll do 150 on and 150 save. Okay. So now what happens is, let's do it like this. This may be easier. Let's go to value. Let's do $1,000 and 500. This is a 2-to-1. Okay. So you're risking 500. Okay. Do not show again.
Order rejected.
So basically, from the bottom, it won't let me move my thing. But if I'm doing a buy, from the bottom red perforated line from the green. Okay, if you look at the green line, if you look at the bottom red one that's dotted, the perforated one, that's a $500 loss. Okay, if you were to do a buy right there and then the price were to keep dropping and hit your red perforated line, then that would be a $500 loss. But if it were to come and bounce and hit your green line at price, this is price right here, wherever this line is right here. If price were to come down and hit your green line and then bounce up to the 2000, what does that say? 2000, 24,671, then that would be $1,000 right there from here to a little higher. Okay. That's a 2-to-1 trade. This would be a 3-to-1 and this would be a 4-to-1 trade. So you risk 200 or you risk 500 to make 2,000. Okay. And it would look something like that. And that would make a little bit more sense. Okay. However, you can always move these lines. Like whenever market is opened, if I click a buy,
Order rejected.
then the lines would stay there and you can just grab them. Like you can click them from this side tab bar and move them up and down too. Okay. And you can also do it over here, but don't worry about doing it over here. Okay. Just know that you can, when you do set the order here, you can always adjust it and move it if you just click and drag them. Okay. Or you can just hit exit all to just close out everything. Okay. So you don't want to use this up here to do the orders. I want you to just do your limits, okay? And then click and drag them if you want to move them, for trade. Okay, don't use this stuff here. Okay, you can just double click on the chart and use them off the chart. Okay, so let me add a few more things here that you're going to need. EMA. So the 21 is very important. It's basically this orange 21-day moving average is just the average price over 21 days. Typically, if you're in a trend and you're going up, the minute you break underneath the 21, you start to move down. Okay. So this is key. Okay. And then we'll do the 9-day. If you're in a strong trend upward, very strong trend upward, like how we were right here, you bounce off the 9. Here's the 9. Boom, 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 boom. These are good places to get entries to keep going. The 9 or the 21 to ride the trend. Okay. This right here, when you're riding the 9-day moving average, you're in a strong trend upward. We're going to change this to the 2-minute. I want you to only trade off the 2-minute for right now and check the 15 minutes. So we'll go to time frames, custom time, 2-minute. Save. Okay. Okay. So the 2-minute time frame, all it is basically it's more it's more closer view. It's like a more of a what is that called? Like a magnifying glass. Okay, so when it says 2-minute, each candle takes 2 minutes to form instead of 5 minutes when we were on the 5-minute. Each candle takes 5 minutes to form. So a 2-minute is better to be on when you're trading. And you're doing kind of these scalp trades that we're going to be doing. Okay. So 2-minute, and then I always want you to be checking just the 2 and 15-minute. Okay. So the 15-minute takes 15 minutes to form one candle, and the 2-minute takes 2 minutes to form one candle. Okay. I don't want you to worry about any other time frames. Those are the only time frames you need to worry about right now. We don't want to make it too confusing. Okay, so we're going to add middle price. Middle price is going to be the purple line that we just added. Okay, open price is going to be this baby blue line. So where price opened, okay, at 5 o'clock, it's going to show there. And then at 8:30 a.m. Central Time, you'll get a brand new baby blue line. And those just act as good support and resistance levels. If you're below these lines, then they're resistance. If you're above, if price, this is price. If price is above, excuse me, if price is above these lines, okay, then it acts as a support, kind of like the moving averages or the VWAPs. Okay, when you're above these lines, they act as support to bounce. And when you're below them, they act as boom, rejection. Boom, rejection. They act as rejection. So they're good reference to kind of areas to take profit and to enter in contracts. Okay. And we're gonna add, okay, so we got all that last trade, cool. Okay, what else do I need to add? We're gonna add a couple more EMAs, very important EMAs is the 50. We're always gonna make that red, save. Okay, so we got the 50 and a very strong level is gonna be your 200. So the 200 is always gonna be yellow and the 200 is kind of like the middle VWAP. Okay, if you're above the middle VWAP and you're above the 200, you go up. If you're below the 200 and below the middle VWAP, you go down. Simple as that, man. When the yellow line crosses over, if the yellow line is underneath middle VWAP and it crosses over middle VWAP, that's a good indication the trend is changing upward. And this is also a good indication here that it looks like the yellow is about to come and start crossing down over here. Could be a good indication that we start to continue to fall when market opens this evening and into tomorrow. Okay, but the main trade that I want you to be looking at, okay, we're gonna add this to volume, save. So this is volume. So volume, when there's a lot of volume is when there's a lot of people getting into positions. This spikes. So look right here, a lot of buy orders came in. Boom, push price up. You got a lot of volume. You got a volume spike right here. Okay, so you want to keep an eye on that. When you get a big volume spike and you're down here, you already bounced 1, 2, 3 times, and you got back up above this lowest VWAP band. Boom, you want to go long. Okay, you want to get into buys. That means go long. Okay. And we want to do force factor index. Boom. All right. And you can always move this a little smaller like that too. Okay. I like the force factor because it also can show you it can show you things like when the direction changes. So look, if you look here, okay, well, let's go here. If you look here, we were down right here. We were going down, but then see how we were down here, down. This was down, but then look, once it flipped and started to come up here, boom, then it flipped and started to go up. Okay, so this can kind of help you, knowing when you get a huge volume spike and when the market will change upward or back downward here. Okay, you see this here, it started to go down right here. It flipped from going up to going down here. Okay, so that kind of helps me. I want to remove this stuff on the side of your chart. This, I really don't like that there. I need to figure out how to remove this. But basically, this is where orders are. This is where people are trying to put orders in here, these green lines. You got a lot of people putting buys around this level here, in here. Okay. So, and then you got a lot of people selling, getting into red lines around here. That's what these show right here, where people are placing their
Order
orders.
rejected.
And it's the same thing over here. It shows it over here. Okay. But basically, like when you're trading, you don't want to trade on your cell phone. It's very difficult. You want to be on a laptop. And all you do is right click and then you can put a sell or a buy. Okay. And then if you want, we can move this to, let's make them both 1500. Save. But you can always adjust them. So if I were to do that, press buy, then I can move over here and then move them, make them smaller or bigger. Okay. And so let me just recap. The main thing we want to do is we want to wait for price to get up here to do sales on the first retest. So since we haven't tested this area yet, this would be a good area when price gets up here to do sales. Okay. And we've already retested this a lot of times down here. Okay. So it's possible I think if we get down here, we could get a little bounce up into here. However, it's possible too that, we could just keep flushing. So if you were going to do a buy, I always like to go a little bit like where this guy is right here around the 40, go a little bit lower than these and you can get a good little pop. Okay. But since we are in down market, you don't want to be in buys long time. You just want to be in and out of them in like a minute to 4 minutes tops. Okay. Underneath this middle VWAP is sell territory. So if price comes down, the best place to get into sells are right around this red line or your middle VWAP, right around here to enter your sell when you're in a down market. Okay. And when you're in an up market, the best place to get into buys is right here. Okay. The middle VWAP would be B. A little bit above it or a little bit below it, like right here. Would a little bit below it are good areas to get into buys. Okay. Because this is where if you are gonna bounce, you're gonna bounce above this purple line. You're not gonna fall through it. So if you are gonna bounce, you're gonna bounce like here or a little bit below it and keep going up. Okay. And just think of middle VWAP as like base, like all the time, price always eventually has to get back here. This is like the rebalancing. I was like, okay, when you get very far away from it, just know eventually you're going to come back down and retest it. Okay. And vice versa. If you get really far below it, just know eventually you're going to get back up here and retest it. Okay. So if we look, we got kind of a way up to the exterior VWAP band, came back down, retested, couldn't hold, fell, got far away from it, okay, and then came back up, retested it, broke through, and it's just like this. It's a rebalancing act all the time. Okay, so your best areas, okay, for sales are at the top of the previous VWAP bands from the prior day and at the bottom. Those are going to be your best areas for buys down here and for sales up here. And then when market first opens at 8:30, it's always a game. It always like messes around for like 30, 40 minutes to be like, okay, which way are we going? Which way are we going? Which way are we going? Boom, we're going. See, look, market open right here, 8:30. And it took about an hour to really show you which way the market was going. So it took 1 hour on Friday to show you, okay, we're really starting to go up. Okay. So keep that in mind. The first 30 to 45 minutes of market open, it's always just tricking people to, so you never really want to be in trades too long. If you are trading, and you never really want to trade the first 5-10 minutes of market open, just let it move around or whatever. And then if you are going to do a trade, just do them quick. Because look, from here, this was 2 minutes. You only really wanted to be in this trade 4 minutes right here. Boom to boom and get out. And then it reverse on you. 2, 4, 6, a little over 7 minutes if you caught the very bottom. If you caught it. But you really don't want to be risking stuff like that. Okay. Like what I would have done here is I probably would have gotten this trade right here when this red candle came down and this green candle beat it and went more higher than this red candle. Then right here at this point, that you're going to start to go this way because the green candle beat the red candle. Okay. And you always, this is your confirmation that you're going to start going higher when this red candle gets engulfed by this green candle and this green candle gets higher than it. Every time that happens, so red and then this green engulfed here and look, boom, you started to go up. Okay. But anyways, just practice. I hope I didn't overload you too much. Your chart should be set up right now. So when market opens at 5 o'clock, you can get in here. This is your demo account right here. It says demo. This is your equity. Okay. It's not real money. It's just practice. And you can trade NQ. Now, this, okay, is the same thing. It's just cheaper contracts. But what I want you to do is if you can go in and you can fix these charts, okay, and see if you can get them to look like this on what we just did in practice. And this is going to be the same thing, but it's just cheaper contracts. You don't make as much money. They're cheaper and they're safer. Okay. So if you could practice that and see if you can do that and try to get this one, okay, to look like this one, that would be good practice. And same thing with ES too. Okay, if you can try to do that on those charts, that will give you good practice. Okay. All right, Tim. Well, let me know if you have any questions, man. I'm gonna send you this video, bro. All right, bye.